Do not let my short shorts deceive you. It is actually the end of fall here in Tennessee. Still very nice and warm out, but this is the ideal time to plant garlic. So I'm gonna show you how we do it here. To replenish my beds, we're gonna be using our compost. The beauty of compost. Dump it on. Probably gonna need a few loads to make sure it's well covered. Now I'm gonna give it a nice little rake just to mix it into the soil a bit. Beautiful, beautiful. An abundance of garlic, really an abundance of anything, starts with happy soil. So make sure you're feeding it, y'all. Now, we're gonna lay down some hay. Now, I will admit this is something different for me in terms of planting my garlic. Typically, I'm against using mulch for any type of root vegetable because it might lead to some root rot, and I want to avoid that with any of my root veggies. But over the past few seasons where I have grown garlic or any other root vegetable and I haven't used mulch, the weeds have gotten so out of control because they don't have that layer of like mitigation or control that the mulch provides. So I really want to try mulching to help mitigate the weeds. I'm taking a little bit of a risk with mulching, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. Let me show you how I do it. I want to lay down a nice like 2 to 3 inch thick layer of mulch. Oh my God, gorgeous. Our mulch is laid. Now I'm gonna show you what I mean about creating space within the mulch to plant accordingly. Literally just gonna make space for my trenches. I also go in and just kind of like compact the hay as I go along. Fabulous. All right, so now I have my rows carved out within the hay. There's one more thing I'm gonna do before planting. Now, I'm not sponsored, but I can be. I love shopping at Keen Garlic. That's where I get all my garlic cloves and bulbs for planting. And they also have a garlic fertilizer. I did lay down some compost, but I'm also gonna lay this garlic specific fertilizer within these rows where I'm gonna plant my garlic. I'm never really one to measure. I'm just gonna sprinkle it within the rows and work it into the soil a little bit. With that, my trenches are completely ready to plant some garlic. Now, when it comes to actually planting your garlic, I feel like there's 2 ways to go about it. You can actually pick or dig out a little trench, lay them in, and then dig, or you can literally just like lay them like this. I like to lay them ahead of time so I know exactly how I'm spacing them. Garlic, you don't really need to plant that deep, maybe like 2 inches. One thing to make sure is that the pointy side of the clove is face up, where the roots are gonna develop down here. You want that face down, and you wanna leave this husk on. Okay, you plant them just like that, about 2 inches underneath the soil. In terms of spacing, you want to give your cloves a good 4 to 6 inches apart. So again, they're not over competing for nutrients or water. Now I'm just gonna fluff the soil, make sure everything is buried in very nicely. And just like that, my first row of garlic is planted. Now to do it throughout the rest of the bed.